The imperial court of Valtheris had seen many wonders across its 3,000-year reign, but none quite like the creature that prowled the reinforced containment chamber in the palace's lowest level. The Emperor's wolf, though calling it merely a wolf was like calling a supernova merely bright, stood nearly 8 feet at the shoulder, its midnight fur seeming to absorb light itself. Its eyes burned with an intelligence that unnerved even the most seasoned warriors, and its fangs could pierce battleship armor. Emperor Cassian had claimed the creature from the forbidden world of Fenraxis, where evolution had taken a savage turn. He'd lost 12 soldiers capturing it, and in the 6 months since, 17 handlers had tried to bond with the beast. 17 had failed. 3 were dead. The rest carried scars they'd take to their graves. The creature's name was Rin, or so the Emperor had declared, though no one was certain the beast acknowledged it. Rin had become a symbol of the Emperor's hubris, whispered about in the palace corridors. Even Cassian, who'd tamed wild systems and bent entire species to his will, couldn't make the wolf bow. Today would be different, the Emperor insisted. Today he'd brought in something unprecedented, a human. The species was barely known in this sector of the galaxy. Earth had only recently achieved faster-than-light travel, and most galactic powers viewed them as curiosities. Weak-bodied creatures with no natural weapons. No enhanced senses, no particular claim to galactic relevance. They were survivors, certainly, having clawed their way to space from a death world, but hardly impressive by Imperial standards. The human's name was Marcus Chen, and he stood in the observation gallery above Rin's chamber, looking distinctly unimpressed by the grandeur around him. He was of average height by human standards, which made him short by Valtherian measures, with dark hair going gray at the temples and wearing a simple jacket over practical clothing. He carried himself with the relaxed confidence of someone who'd seen enough of the universe to stop being intimidated by it. "You want me to what now?" Marcus asked, his translator rendering his Earth English into perfect galactic standard. Emperor Cassian, resplendent in his ceremonial armor, gestured toward the chamber below. "Bond with it. You humans claim to have domesticated the wolves of your world. Prove your species' worth. Tame mine." Marcus leaned against the transparent alloy barrier, peering down at Rin. The wolf was pacing, its movements liquid and predatory. Every few seconds it would pause and stare upward, directly at the observation gallery as though it could see through the one-way barrier. "That's not a wolf," Marcus said flatly. "That's an apex predator that happens to look wolf-adjacent." "Nevertheless," Cassian replied, his 4 eyes narrowing, "you will try. Refuse, and I will consider it an insult to the Terran Federation. Succeed, and your people will have the Emperor's favor." Marcus sighed, the particular sigh of someone being volunteered for something monumentally stupid. No pressure, then. 20 minutes later, Marcus stood inside the chamber, the door sealed behind him with a hiss that sounded altogether too final. Rin stopped pacing immediately, swinging its massive head toward the human. The intelligence in those burning eyes was predatory, calculating. Marcus could practically see it doing the math. New creature. Small, probably crunchy. Every instinct built over millions of years of evolution told Marcus to run. He ignored them, the way his ancestors had ignored similar instincts when they'd first approached wild wolves with food and patience. He sat down cross-legged on the floor. Rin's ears, if those radar dish-sized appendages could be called ears, swiveled forward. The creature took a single step closer, then stopped, visibly confused. Every other being that had entered this chamber had either charged with weapons or cowered in fear. This one just sat. "Hey there," Marcus said softly, keeping his hands visible and relaxed on his knees. "That's a good, lupine entity. Yes, you are. You're a very impressive lupine entity." In the observation gallery, Emperor Cassian leaned forward. "What is he doing?" His chief xenobiologist checked her datapad. "It appears to be talking to it, Your Majesty. In a specific vocal pattern our database identifies as baby talk." Cassian's expression suggested he was reconsidering his entire strategy. Below, Marcus continued his approach, which consisted entirely of not approaching. "Who's a good one, is it you?" "I bet it's you." Rin took another step closer, then another. Its posture hadn't relaxed, but something in its body language had shifted from imminently violent to deeply puzzled. Marcus had learned something during his years working with animals on Earth, then with various species across a dozen worlds. Intelligence and instinct often pulled in opposite directions. The smart ones, the really smart ones like Rin clearly was, got bored. They needed stimulation, challenge. And every handler that had come before had either treated Rin as a weapon to be controlled or a monster to be feared. Nobody had treated it like a person. "I know what you are," Marcus said conversationally, still not moving. "You're smart enough to be dangerous and smart enough to know when you're being disrespected. These idiots have been treating you like a thing, like a trophy. That's gotta be frustrating." Rin was now less than 10 feet away, close enough that Marcus could smell its breath, which was about as pleasant as one might expect from an apex predator. The creature lowered its massive head, bringing one dinner plate-sized eye level with Marcus. They regarded each other for a long moment. Then Marcus did something that made everyone in the observation gallery gasp. He slowly extended his hand, palm down, fingers relaxed. "Good one," he whispered. Rin's nostrils flared, taking in the human's scent. No fear pheromones, no aggression markers, just curiosity, respect. And underneath it all, the scent of something Rin's instincts recognized from some deep, genetic memory. The scent of a creature that had once sat by similar fires with similar wolves and forged a partnership that would change a world. The wolf, for it was a wolf, in all the ways that mattered, pressed its nose against Marcus's palm. The chamber erupted in proximity alarms as Emperor Cassian himself stood, both hearts hammering. But Marcus just smiled, scratching gently under Rin's jaw in the way that had worked on canines across a dozen worlds. "Who's a good one?" Marcus repeated. "That's right. You are." Rin made a sound that was half growl, half purr, and settled onto the floor beside the human, close enough that Marcus could feel the creature's body heat. In the observation gallery, the chief xenobiologist checked her instruments twice, certain they were malfunctioning. "Your Majesty, the creature's stress hormones have dropped by 70%. Neural scans show contentment." Emperor Cassian stared at the scene below, watching the human continue to pet and talk to the universe's most dangerous predator as though it were a household companion. "Prepare a treaty," he said quietly. "Full alliance terms. If humanity can do that with words and patience, I want them on our side." Below, unaware of the political implications of scratching a good boy behind the ears, Marcus leaned against Rin's warm bulk and grinned. "Good one," he said again. And Rin, for the first time since his capture, closed his eyes in peace.